Welcome, America. It is a new day. Woo! If you came to see Tate and I cry more, I have bad news for you. We flushed it down. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. We positive vibes only from this day forward. Have we settled on what we want out of this tournament? Because that was a big. We talked about it last night as we were trying to cleanse our soul of a day that will live in infamy. The worst day in this show's history.
Yeah. Not good.
And we talked about this might be a good. The silver lining is that we can wake up tomorrow, we can pivot, we can say, let's cover this as unbiased journalists that we are.
Yes.
You know, that's why people come to our show. They're like, you guys are the only unbiased journalists.
Objective.
You're the only objective people that cover this sport. But you and I looked at each other like, but what is it? What are we cheering for now? What is it that we're looking for out of this tournament? What is it that
you know what we're looking for?
What?
We're looking for West Coast basketball to take center stage, and that's why if you're at home right now, Pac-12 update. This is a Pac-12 tournament.
This is a Pac-12 tournament. It has become.
Stop your disrespect.
Knock on wood. There's about 5 minutes left. USC's up 13 on Drake,
and Drake just. Almost through almost game over. Almost game over right there. If we weren't live and just said Pac-12 update, that was game over.
We should do a whole live update where we're just like, or don't tell anybody what we're actually seeing.
That's kind of what we did yesterday with Ohio State.
All right, guys, so we're watching the game. And, yeah, it is kind of a Pac-12 tournament. I mean, the Pac-12 is undefeated. The big story today, I guess, out of the gate was Colorado. Goes absolutely nuts against Georgetown. This was a 12-5 upset special for a lot of people. Georgetown wins the Big East tournament. Patrick Ewing is the hero in college basketball, and certainly the hero of college basketball media. Who can? I mean, it's an obvious story. It's like this is awesome that this guy who was a Hall of Fame player is now back at his alma mater. And he has coached that alma mater on a Big East tournament run. They are now back in the NCAA tournament. It had all the makings of like a great story. And Tad Boyle said,
not today. And Colorado said, we can shoot threes, and we're a physical team. We're a lengthy team, and we're a lot better than a 5 seed. And I think you and I, we've watched Colorado throughout this year. There were times where you and I said, I really like this team. I think they may be the best team in the Pac-12. But as is the Pac-12, like we talked about before, guys at the top get beaten by teams at the bottom, and then they all come to the middle, and we all just kind of
how come when the Pac-12 loses to lower level teams, they get pulled down. When the Big Ten, I mean, we're seeing it's ridiculous.
Where is the bar?
We are the only podcast that dedicates a weekly segment to Pac-12 basketball, and this is why. This is why. So we need more of this. Undefeated Big 12. Who cares?
You got all the attention. It's okay. Pac-12. Look, we're going to make it about ourselves. So we made it a Pac-12 update, and let's hope USC can hold on here. But look, Big 12, shout out to you. Kansas with a nice win today. That was a close one for a little bit, but Bill Self escapes. That was good. You mentioned, I want to talk about the Colorado game.
I don't want to talk about the Big 12 because it was never Big 12 versus Pac-12. It was Big 12 versus Big 10. Yes. And if we acknowledge the Big 12, we have to then talk about how bad the Big 10 has been, and I don't really want to do that.
There's a slight chance that we have this conversation where the ACC and the Big Ten, that's what you and I usually talk about, right? A little bit biased. ACC guy, Big Ten.
That's what the podcast reviews on Apple say.
That's what they say. That's what they're telling us. But yeah, for the people at home, if you're a Big 12, Pac-12 guy, it's a great tournament because you're seeing your team show out, and 96 points in a tournament game, regardless of the round.
There was a beautiful metaphor in the Colorado game where the very first possession of the day, of the entire day. This is the first game. It tips off. Colorado went to the tip. They bring the ball down. They throw it off. I forget who the two players were, but the guy on Colorado takes the ball, throw it off of his teammate's back.
Yep.
Georgetown picks it up, goes the other way, and I saw that and I was like, oh boy, that's a bad start. That's not how you want to start an NCAA tournament game. Then Colorado goes nuts, goes 16 for 25 from the 3-point line. I thought, there's a metaphor here, Tate. This is you and I. This is we started the NCAA tournament in pain, in agony, in misery.
Yes.
But
we were that past.
But we were that past. We are now past the past. And maybe we're hitting threes now. And we're on fire. And we're running Georgetown out of the gym. That's where you're at. That's where you're witnessing right now. So Colorado goes 16 for 25 from the 3-point line. Tomorrow they are going, not tomorrow, 2 days from now, they are going to play Florida State, who held off UNC Greensboro. That was an interesting game. Like the moment I texted you, hey, because you had to step away for a second to take a phone call, and I texted you with like 7 minutes, whatever it was left.
Yeah,
and I was like,
you're like,
hey, this is kind of getting interesting. You should probably come back.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I texted you, it started to get not interesting.
That's kind of like the theme of this tournament, honestly. As soon as you point something out, it seems like that's impossible. Like Winthrop.
Yeah.
I swear to you, if we had never said a word about Winthrop, if Villanova fans and Villanova's team wasn't so locked in on America thinks we're going to lose to Winthrop.
Ohio fans are sweating right now.
Yeah.
They're like, why did you talk about us? What have you done to us?
The unfortunate thing is, like, we had Kyle Guy on and we had Coach Bowles on, and together we don't know who's cursed, but someone's got to go down in that game. So at least we can win there.
That's where I'm at. I think I'm just like casting a wide net and saying, whoever wins, I can have some sort of claim to. Like,
no, you said it to me this morning. You said I'm pulling for the tournament.
Yeah, I was trying to work through this. So you know how like when you watch golf and people say you got your blue light.
I was getting ready for it. I was thinking about it. 7-11.
You know how when you watch golf and people will say the course is winning today or something because everyone's shooting over par and that becomes like a thing or something. It's like the course is winning. Right?
Yes. Whistling Straits.
You're familiar with this term.
Yes.
So I thought maybe because Ohio State and North Carolina are out, you and I cheer for the tournament. What if we cheered for the course, which would be like the tournament? And then I said that out loud, and I was like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
it sounded provocative in my head. I was like, yeah, we're pulling for the tournament. But then, like, I guess that's chaos. Are we cheering for chaos?
I mean, look, we got a lot of New York basketball fans. Look, if you're going to play at Bethpage Black, right, everyone's pulling for Bethpage Black. They're like, the tees are all the way back. Some people aren't. Like, I remember Chris DeMarco couldn't hit a fairway at Bethpage Black in 2002. And so, like, he basically had to hit a driver into the rough. Couldn't even make it to the fairway.
I mean, that's Florida State.
The course.
Maybe that's Florida State. They were 0 for 9 from the three-point line. They still won. Yeah. So that's an interesting matchup in 2 days. Is a team that hit 16 threes today. We'll be playing a team that hit 0 threes, 0 for 9 from the three-point line. That's certainly going to be fascinating. I think I'm with you, though. I think I'm just cheering for the West Coast. I think if you're in the Mountain time zone or the Pacific, because
maybe even Central.
Yeah, maybe Central. If you're just like outside of the East, like I mean, that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that.
Are we the only? We're really like the only show on the West Coast, right? Like this is our territory. We got to hold it down for our people, right?
I mean, that's what they're saying. That's what Mick Cronin is asking.
Mick Cronin is asking from us.
I did want to bring up UNCG Florida State. Florida State is Final Four team for me. They did not look inspiring today. Wes Miller, it was great to see the Carolina offense run, not by North Carolina, but by a a team that can run it. That's UNCG.
They scored 54 points today. Great.
Well, hey,
that is the North Carolina offense.
It looked like North Carolina playing Florida State is what it looked like. Shout out to Isaiah Miller, one of my guys that could be a Kimba candidate. Did not quite do it today, but they made it close, made it interesting. Yeah. I am worried about Florida State in the next
15
round.
15 turnovers for the Seminoles.
Yeah, I'm worried.
0 for 9 from the three-point line.
I'm worried. I'm worried about the ACC in general. Syracuse seems to be the only team that can get it. The Big Ten and the ACC weirdly have one team that has been kind of the laughing stock, right, of the league all year. Yeah, exactly. Like, you guys have Wisconsin, we have Syracuse, and it makes no sense that they are the ones representing the conference.
We should point out, Illinois won easily. Yeah, Michigan was winning easily. It didn't get close.
These are one seeds. These are one seeds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got one seeds that are rolling right now. They haven't shown any. There's no reason to give up on Michigan or Illinois yet. They're still cooking. Iowa, we're going to see later today.
I will say this, looking ahead of that, Grand Canyon's first game in the tournament ever. You and I, we are fascinated with Grand Canyon's rise, ascension, whatever word you want to use, into the basketball lexicon of college basketball. That has a little bit of upset tinge to it. I'm hoping because Grand Canyon hasn't played really any real teams, Iowa handles it easily. But when you're Iowa and you watch Ohio State lose yesterday,
you watch Iona, give Alabama all they can handle.
Yeah, you're scared about the 2:15 game. You're worried about that. So just put it on your radar.
Some more Pac-12 updates.
Race to 69, USC.
Yeah, USC looks like there you go. That's a Pac-12 update. USC is going to march on, fight on. That's their thing. Fight on. Yeah, they're going to fight on. More Pac-12 update. Eastern Washington loses to Kansas. You mentioned this earlier. Eastern Washington, Tanner Groves has 35 points.
The Groves brothers.
And I wanted to bring this point up because when we think Pac-12 basketball, our mind immediately goes to one man who we have in our picture frame up there. Maui Bill, Big Wave Billy?
Big Wave Billy.
Is that what he calls himself?
Yes,
when he gets on the island?
Yes. That's what he introduced himself as to us. Big Wave Billy. Not Bill Walton, Big Wave Billy.
This is Big Wave Billy.
How's it going, guys? It's Big Wave Billy.
What did he say? The story. If you've been listening to the show for a long time, you might remember when we were at Maui, we had like...
I got to get this away from me, by the way. The new blood. I just got to do that later tonight.
We had an intro where Bill Walton said, "You're listening to Titus and Tate. This is Big Wave Billy." And the way we got that was you were carrying around this portable microphone that you could just hit the button, record, whatever. It had a chip on it that it would record stuff.
I love how elaborate it sounds.
Not like an SD card.
SD card.
SD card. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And it made it portable. You didn't have to plug it in.
Exactly.
That was the point. So you're just carrying it around, and then you see Bill Walton, and you're like, should I? And I was like, yeah, you should. So you go up to him, you're like, Bill, I wasn't there, but you should probably be telling the story.
No, I'm just saying this is exactly what happened. I go over there to Bill, Big Wave Billy, he introduces himself as Big Wave Billy. I tell him about the podcast. I say, we used to do the show. I thought he may know the old show. Of course, no idea. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, it's a podcast. And then the first thing he says to me, and this is direct, serious, no joke at all. He goes, "Is it a porn podcast?"
That's why I wanted. That's why I was telling the story.
I just died laughing, and I was like, "I promise you, it's not a porn podcast." And he did the promo. Well, maybe we'll bring it up again.
This is big way. Anyway, when you think Pac-12 basketball, you think Bill Walton talking about the Conference of Champions. And it comes full circle back to Eastern Washington because Tanner Groves looks like Bill Walton circa 1977.
He does. He does. 35 points today. His brother had 23 points. And also, this frame here is supposed to be kind of like our guy of the day, like our coach of the day, our persona of the day, our figure of the day.
Our vibe of the day.
Yeah, exactly. And Big Wave Billy is perfect. So Pac-12 basketball, I think he picked every single Pac-12 team to make the Sweet 16. So Big Wave Billy knew.
He's on. He knew. What else we got tonight? We got Oregon still to play.
Yep.
UCLA, BYU. We're good either way because BYU is an honorary Pac-12 team.
That is true. That is true. And we saw BYU play UCLA last year at the Maui Invitational. Yeah. Coach Pope, Coach Cronin.
What else we have? Oh, shout out David McCord, by the way. He had 22-9 coming back from COVID situation.
Yep.
And that was Kansas. Kansas was a team that I didn't think they were going to lose this game, but you certainly were interested to see what they would look like given the situation, as we'll say.
Yes.
Situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other Pac-12 update. UC Santa Barbara had a shot to beat Creighton. Your thoughts?
This was a big game.
This is a team you like. I picked Creighton to win. I thought Creighton would play, honestly, a little better. I saw the Creighton game. I picked Creighton and Colorado in these 5-12 games because I thought my rationale was they've already lost to 12 seeds in their conference title games. They're not going to lose back-to-back games to 12 seeds. I ended up being right, but this was much, much closer than I thought it would be. Yeah,
this UCSB game in general was Creighton holding on for dear life, it felt like, and as we were talking out through this game, I'm looking at you, I'm saying, what happens if Creighton loses this game? When you're talking about the expectations, the talent they have on this team, obviously all of the larger stories that are happening.
The situation. You just say the situation. That's a good move for us, I think, because we're too stupid to actually talk
I don't want to dissect it, but the situation.
But
the situation on the other side is that UC Santa Barbara, which is a really good basketball team, Big West champions. Miles Norris is a guy that I was all in on. Ja'Cory McLaughlin is a guy that I mentioned as a Kimba candidate. So as I'm watching this game, all signs are pointing to UCSB going to make it work. They have a final shot here, but they also had timeouts, and Pasternak does not.
Pasternak's not a timeout guy. That's what I learned.
Yeah, not a timeout guy. Doesn't take one. We still get a great look. Could have been a foul here at the end of the game. No call. And again, the rest is history. Creighton moves on. I'm happy for the Blue Jays. I know that they were tight, going into this game, trying to make sure they could get past this 12-5 upset. It is funny to me. I feel like everyone in America picked another 12-5 upset, whether it be Georgetown or UCSB, and then Oregon State, the team that won the Pac-12,
that was the one.
Does it easily.
Winthrop was
Winthrop hurts. I will say this.
My whole South.
6 out of 10 times Winthrop wins that game. I still feel that way. Yeah, I still feel that way. It was the right logic. It was the right logic and the wrong pick.
I think you play that game 84 times. Winthrop's winning at least 53. At least. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. You schedule it.
My whole South bracket is an absolute mess, by the way. I assume everyone's is. I don't know, because Ohio State and Purdue blowing it kind of ruined everything.
I still haven't even marked out Ohio State in my Elite Eight because I don't have the heart to do it. But yeah, I mean that whole region and Baylor is my only hope there. I will say in general, if you have a perfect bracket right now, you are basically you're Moses. You are chaos, and it's
how do you live with yourself? If you have a perfect bracket, how do you live with yourself?
In one sense, I respect it. In the other sense, I'm like, how and who?
How do you have any self-respect?
Yes,
how do you you brought this on me? You brought the pain. No, we're not. We're past it, Tate.
We're past it.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
This is today. This is the here and now.
Were you shocked? I was going to ask you this. Were you shocked by Rick Pitino? Basically, I mean, Rick Pitino got America back in his good graces today, and he had a lot of.
It felt right.
You had the pundits.
It felt right. They're cutting to Rick Pitino on the sidelines. He got the chin diaper on, and the look in his eyes. He's got the Steely. He's got his hands behind his back. He's locked in, and I was like, I completely forgot his team was a 15 seed. I was like, this guy's gonna win an NCAA tournament game. And I told you this would be great for Ohio State if Rick Pitino, if Iona beat Alabama, because how big of a deal can it be that a 15 beats a 2 if it happened back-to-back days, right? But then I thought about it, and I was like, Rick Pitino is so iconic, and it is so, I almost said respected. I guess that's probably not. His basketball mind is respected.
Absolutely.
That if Rick Pitino beats Nate Oats, no one is like rubbing it. I mean, kind of you're going to rub it in Nate Oats' face, but a lot of people are going to be like, I mean,
bad matchup. That's a bad draw.
That's bad.
Yeah.
How do you do that to Nate Oats? Give him Rick Pitino in the first round. And I was like, that's so unfair. I would have rather played Ohio State, and still lose. Like, if you're telling me we had to lose, I would have rather lost to Rick Pitino, because then everyone would have just been like, well,
what can you do?
It's Rick Pitino. Yeah. He's on a revenge tour.
I mean, we have some of our national media guys that are we deal with. We know they're tweeting that Rick Pitino is still the best coach in college basketball based on today. And if you're Coach Pitino, that is why you are at Iona. That is why you make sure that you get this tournament, because you have to get the eyeballs. You have to get people. It's a spin zone thing. So he did that today.
I'm very happy for Rick.
Sports. If he won, a friend of the program texted me. We had to take Casamigos shots. So
I would have taken Casamigos shots.
I would have too,
for sure. But
for Clooney.
I'm happy that Rick could have this moment, even though they lost. Like, he had a moment. There was a moment where everyone.
The first half.
If you were watching multiple TVs, you flipped it over to Iona, Alabama, for sure.
Yep.
That he could have this moment at his dream school, because he has said that Iona is his dream job. This is all he's ever.
No, he was done. He was done without
done.
The Iona job.
Yeah. So he's a dream job. So if you're someone out there and you're like, whoa, could Rick Pitino take one of these jobs or opening?
No.
The answer is no. He's at his dream job.
No, he's not leaving.
He's not leaving.
He said, "I'm a masshole." Just kidding. LSU we should mention, because Will Wade is, he is a gangster. You know what I mean? What people think Rick Pitino is, Will Wade actually is. And they get a pretty big, I would say this is an upset, even though they were the 8th seed. I know.
Yeah, I thought St. Bonaventure was going to win.
I think if you're an A-10 basketball fan, you probably felt really good about the Bonnies as well. But LSU, Cam Thomas is a bucket. We can't say that without, a lot of people being like, well, so-and-so else. No,
what
this
about
guy.
Tyler Hero?
Exactly.
Tyler Hero invented the bucket.
Well, Cam Thomas said, "I'll take this up."
Is I'm him when you're on fire and you say I'm him?
Yes.
Like Michael Beasley, we saw him do that.
Yes.
And now was Zagorowski doing it today?
He did at one point.
Yeah, at one point he said I'm him. Is that the new I'm a bucket? Is that the name? I need to know what the kids are saying. I think it's I'm him. Is I'm him? We should poll. Those are the polls I want to see.
Let's call Big Cat and figure out what the kids are saying. What are they memeing?
Poll all the college basketball players. Because we know what they say when they block shots.
Yes.
We know. And that's
the last part. Yeah.
Fox.
I know.
We know what they say when that happens. That's
Give me
timeless.
that shot.
Give me that shot. Yeah, that's what it is. That's timeless. They've been saying that for 40 years. But it feels like when you're on fire, what happened to the 3 goggles? We used to have those.
Yeah.
We used to have.
I call them
the loose buttholes.
That was the Mike Miller.
Then we got the domes.
Yeah. That's Brad Davison.
The J.R. Smith.
That was the best.
That one was good. Now, what do you just do? I'm hit. Now, like, it's the tap on the head when you dunk on guys.
Yeah, watch your head. Yeah.
Watch your head. Yeah. And then too little. If you're posting a guy up, you just say
the worst. I will say this.
Someone do a video of like all the time. You remember the evolution of dance, like one of the first YouTube videos?
Yes.
Do an evolution of trash talking gestures on the basketball court.
If you fade away and you're also shorter than the guy, you can't do you're too small. And you take a fade away.
You post them up.
You can't take a fade away and go, you're too small. And I've seen a lot of that. I've seen too much of that, I will say.
Cam Thomas, 27 points.
Yep.
Trendon Watford, 11 and 11 back in Assembly Hall. That was a storyline for some people. That Christian Watford, I don't know if you know this, he just shot in Assembly Hall one time, and his brother played there and had 11 points and 11 rebounds. Is that it? Is there anything else we got to hit? I mean, I think we touched on it all. Not exactly a super exciting day, given that yesterday we had an overtime game out of the gate. Then we had Ohio State.
I am hoping that this last window where we have Maryland, Connecticut, Ohio, Virginia, Missouri, Oklahoma, and obviously Grand Canyon, Iowa just tipped off here.
Yeah.
I think that those 4 games, there's a chance we get an OT thriller in there.
I don't think
Maryland,
UConn. I don't think it's been a boring day though.
No,
I don't think it's been
a fun day.
a bad. It's been fun. It was more fun than yesterday.
Yeah. For the haters at home, I don't know. A lot of people, the haters at home, they were upset. We're having fun today.
Yeah.
We're having too much fun. They're like, how do we stop this? Can a Pac-12 team lose already?
So I was saying that out loud. We have a fan question. Does UCLA have a shot against the young Pope? Right,
Yes.
that Pac-12 momentum.
Absolutely.
I think Mick Cronin's. Here's my prediction of the tournament. Mick Cronin's dad is the new Sister Jean. Heb Cronin's the new Sister Jean. Lock that in.
He is great.
You know, the story behind it. Mick's like getting teared up talking about. I haven't seen my dad since like last February because of COVID, and he's here.
Yep.
We got a million shots of him.
Yep.
Michigan State kind of choked it away at the end. There's a lot of parallels. John Wooden, we're back in John Wooden land, and it's not just Mackey Arena, as you've pointed out. The entire state of Indiana is John Wooden
land. There's statues everywhere. It's literally like John Wooden. Wherever he went, they put a statue up. You know, in Indiana, they're like John Wooden came to this restaurant. He came to this Hardee's, like put up a statue.
He is the only coach that has that is universally beloved in Indiana more than Brad Stevens.
Yes. Not anymore.
Not anymore. He's also John Wooden's dying words were like, "I'm a Californian. I've never been a Hoosier." He's like, I love kale salads and kombucha.
He said, have you ever taken San Vicente down to get it on the tin? No, I will say.
I hate my home state, too. Goodbye, everybody.
As we talk about Mick Cronin, and this is a great question, I have a working theory, that, just like in the Santa Claus, and, Tim Allen, he walks outside and he puts on the coat and he becomes Santa Claus. I think that Tom Izzo, when he lost this game in Mackey, Mick Cronin became Mr. March, and I think that he's marching on. And I think he put on the Mr. March crown, and he is Mr. March.
He's Tim Allen.
He's Tim Allen in Santa Claus. You know what I mean? And this is the first edition of it. I don't know how far they go, but I think they're going to get past BYU. It's a revenge game for last year. They lost to BYU.
I think so too. I think the Pac-12 keeps rolling.
Fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
Yeah, so I apologize to everybody. I found myself saying this has been a fun day for us. Like I don't think it's been a bad day, and then you pointed out if we're happy, then the rest of America probably not.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, apologies.
Fingers crossed we can be miserable
fans.
tonight somehow.
What game would be the game that you and I would be
let's
hurt
do that.
by?
We'll end with that. Let's forecast what is the worst case scenario.
This is Schadenfreude,
us.
as they call it. Yeah,
I think if Gonzaga loses, I'm devastated.
Yeah.
I don't need Gonzaga to win the title, but like. If I don't think I would be, because then it would overshadow. If Gonzaga loses, it overshadows Ohio State. So I take that back. I actually wouldn't mind it at all. I think it'd be Ohio, Virginia is can't. I don't.
Yeah, the game that kills me today. If Abilene Christian upsets Texas, that's the game.
That's the one. Circle it.
Yep.
If Abilene Christian beats Texas, Moses has Abilene Christian in his Final Four though, so. We can spin it that way.
We can. We can spin it, but
we gotta get Moses back on set. By the way,
let's bring him back tomorrow. Or maybe tonight. Who knows? Whatever we need. We need emotional support. Ohio is a team that you and I love. We should point out we both picked Ohio to go to the Sweet 16. We had Coach Bowles on. We love Jason Preston.
I know. So
I'm scared about that game because Virginia,
UConn, Maryland coming up.
UConn,
check the last 5 minutes. If it's close, turn it on.
Yeah. Maryland's gonna muck it up.
Yeah, that's gonna.
They should have shirts that say we're gonna muck it up. Maryland basketball, let's muck it up.
I'm a mucker.
The Maryland Muckers.
This game is mucked.
I mean,
this game is you've been mucked.
Dude, if it's slow terrapins in your way, you know what I mean? It's mucking up your day.
All right, we'll be back tonight after all the games are over. I don't know. I'm looking at the forecast I'm looking at the game schedule. There's probably really no reason to go live. I mean, you gotta space it out.
There's a chance with Maryland UConn.
Yeah, if it's like triple over, if there's a captivating reason, we'll go live and talk about it as it's happening. But if not, come back tonight after the games are towards the end, not after all the games are over, because we know some of you are on the East Coast.
9 o'clock Pacific, midnight East Coast.
Yeah, about that time.
Let's just say that.
We're gonna, if there's still games going on, you could watch us live. We'll watch them all together and talk about what we saw tonight, and it'll be fun.
Watch Abilene Christian upset Texas live with us.
There it is. See you guys.
Thanks.